First People's Hospital of Beijing. The intensive care unit was dimly lit and very quiet, except for the occasional beeping of machines. There was a sense of stillness. A middle-aged man with pale skin lay on the hospital bed, wearing an oxygen mask, looking very weak. A doctor and a lawyer walked in. "Mr. Yifeng, the last bone marrow transplant had some effect, but your cancer cells have spread throughout your body, I'm afraid." The doctor hesitated. "How long do I have left?" Yifeng asked calmly, his voice hoarse. "Maybe a couple of weeks, possibly a month," the doctor replied with a hint of comfort. "Oh, just a couple of weeks?" Yifeng chuckled self-deprecatingly, suspecting the situation was even worse. "Mr. Yi, your wife, Ms. Lu Yao, has filed a lawsuit against you. She is requesting to split an additional 500 billion from your 800 billion inheritance. This is a letter from her representative lawyer." The middle-aged lawyer handed him a document. Lu Yao, his wife, his university classmate, they had been married for 7 years. The night he was diagnosed with late-stage cancer, she hastily prepared a will and forced him to sign it. 7 years of marriage, and on that day, he finally saw her true face. Money, everything was for money, all emotions, everything was fake. Looking at the sternly worded lawyer's letter warning him not to dispose of personal property arbitrarily, his eyes welled up. He chuckled self-deprecatingly, tears slipping from the corners of his eyes. After 10 years of entrepreneurship and hard work, amassing nearly $1 trillion in wealth, he ended up without the one person he loved and who loved him. Lying in the empty hospital room, without any family or loved ones by his side. Truly pitiful and tragic. Reality is just an illusion, an emptiness. "Lawyer Zhou, tell her not to worry about this money. According to my will, donate all my assets to charity, to impoverished mountainous regions, to the nation," Yifeng said coldly. "All right, Mr. Yi. By the way, Mr. Yi, a woman asked me to give this to you yesterday." Lawyer Zhou took out a cloth-wrapped object from his bag. It looked like a book. The doctor raised the bed so he could sit up. "Mr. Yifeng, we won't disturb your rest any longer." The doctor and Lawyer Zhou left the hospital room, and it fell into silent stillness again. Yifeng opened the package and found a yellow diary inside. Flipping through it, he saw the familiar name, Gushi. "I see you've been here for a long time," he continued. 1998, March 11th, cloudy. Yifeng actually dared to let the air out of my bike, so annoying. I'm going to drop poop on his backpack. 2000, May 10th, light rain. Yifeng forgot to bring his umbrella and got soaked like a drowned rat. It was so funny. He planned to change his choices secretly, and was woken up by my Foshan shadowless kick. We promised to go to the same university, and he wanted to back out? Yifeng is talking about his girlfriend all the time, so annoying. So annoying. Causing me to stay awake all night. Maybe I've fallen for him? So annoying. Today is his wedding day. He wanted me to be his bridesmaid. I refused, even made up an excuse to deceive him, didn't attend his wedding, wishing him a happy life. 2012, January 11th, cloudy. He said over the phone he has cancer, it's terminal, the world felt like it's crumbling. 2012, February 2nd, light rain. He has no relatives who can have bone marrow transplant, and by some coincidence, I was a match, a 1 in 100,000 chance. Is this some kind of fate? If I can save him, I can accept any pain and cost, even my own life. He probably won't know, just like he won't know that I like him. Yifeng's heart trembled as tears streamed down his face. The mysterious donor turned out to be her. Scenes with Gushi flashed back in his mind like a movie. Playing in the mud as kids, swimming in the river, getting scolded together, climbing the neighboring yard to get bird nests, and being chased away by the neighbor's big yellow dog. Going to school together, playing hide-and-seek together, playing games together day after day, year after year, growing up as childhood sweethearts, they became each other's most familiar person. But because they were too familiar, he had overlooked her, as if her presence was taken for granted. But in that moment, he finally understood that he had missed the right person. This missed chance would be a lifetime regret. At that moment, an endless wave of regret flooded his heart. Cough cough dash. The intense emotions made him cough violently, blood spilling from his mouth and choking him. His consciousness began to blur. He felt a light appear in front of him, a blurry light. At the same time, he felt his body losing sensation, out of his control. Is this how my life ends? Gushi, I'm sorry. I hope in the next life, I'll still be your childhood sweetheart. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he slowly closed his eyes. Yifeng, wake up, get up quickly. Wake up, Mr. Lau is about to come for class. A gentle and urgent voice sounded in his ears. Yifeng suddenly opened his eyes and saw the classroom, familiar faces of students. Suddenly, a fair face with delicate features appeared before him. Her dark and beautiful hair tied up in a ponytail, very spirited, her watery eyes fixed on him. Her youthful face exuded vitality, giving off the vibrant energy of early spring. Gumushi? Yifeng widened his eyes in disbelief. What's going on? Aren't I in the intensive care unit? Aren't I dead? Why are you staring at me? Get up quickly, Mr. Lau is about to come. Do you want to be punished? Gumushi stared back at him with confusion. Is this a dream? Yifeng's eyes reddened, but he couldn't help but laugh. He sprang up and hugged her tightly. Even if it's a dream, it's enough. Gumushi. It's so good to see you. Yifeng grabbed her shoulders, tears in his eyes, and smiled. Huh? What nonsense are you talking about? What are you doing? Gumushi looked at him in bewilderment. Yifeng's embrace of Gumushi attracted the attention of everyone in the class. I won't miss you again. Yifeng smiled, gripping her shoulders. Huh? Suddenly, he leaned in and kissed her. The whole class was shocked in this moment. Everyone was bewildered. Gumushi's eyes widened, frozen in place. Quiet. The entire class fell silent. You could hear a pin drop. Every classmate was wide-eyed with disbelief, mouths gaping open. Unbelievable. School beauty Gumushi was kissed by Yifeng. Oh my god. Is this for real? Sensing the warmth on his lips, Yifeng was momentarily stunned. Huh? How could he feel sensations in his dream too? He licked his lips. Oh my gosh, it's even a little sweet. Taste in dreams as well? Yifeng withdrew his body, looking at Gumushi, whose cheeks had turned as red as an apple, and exclaimed, This isn't a dream. Feng. Gumushi blushed, pushed him away embarrassedly, then executed a textbook judo throw on him. Bang! Yifeng crashed heavily to the ground, the pain in his back jolting him fully awake. He looked up at the classroom ceiling, then at the bewildered expressions of his classmates, and finally at the date on the blackboard behind the classroom. April 12, 2000. He finally arrived at a conclusion in his heart. I've been reborn. Reborn back to the year 2000, the millennium. He remembered clearly, in this year, Gumushi was 18. In this year, they were about to take the college entrance exam, and now only 69 days remained before the exam. Yifeng raised his hands, looking at his still somewhat fair and slim arms, couldn't help but smile. I really have been reborn. Since heaven has given me another chance, in this life, I will live more vividly, with no regrets. And I can't miss Gumushi again. Yifeng, have you lost your mind? Gumushi appeared in his view, her face blushing, glaring down at him. Hello, Gumushi. Yifeng grinned. Gumushi was taken aback. What hello, what nonsense are you spouting? She squatted down and seized Yifeng's hand in a joint lock. Tell me, why did you take advantage of me just now? Ouch, you let go first. You speak first. There are so many people watching, aren't you embarrassed? You let go first. Gumushi scanned the classroom and indeed, the entire class was staring at them. Those gazes were more than a little strange. Being uncomfortable under those stares, she reluctantly let go of Yifeng first. If there weren't so many people watching, I would definitely tear you apart. Yifeng stood up, took a deep breath, rubbed his wrist. Gumushi still had that violent tendency. The familiar childhood sweetheart from his memories. Tell me, why did you take advantage of me? Gumushi wiped her lips, almost chafing them. Yifeng had many things he wanted to say to her, but seeing the angry look on Gumushi's face, the words stuck in his throat. If he were to confess directly now, would he even lose a friend? Although the two of them usually joked around, once it came to matters of love, it could endanger their friendship. From childhood until high school during those youthful, ignorant times, he hadn't viewed her as a girl. Similarly, Gumushi didn't seem to treat him as a boy either. He didn't know what Gumushi was thinking now. If their relationship were to suddenly change, wouldn't it backfire? Thinking this, Yifeng felt it was not urgent, he needed to first understand Gumushi's thoughts. I was dreaming just now, dreaming that you fell into a water pit, so in the moment of excitement, I wanted to give you artificial respiration. Yifeng made up an excuse. Gumushi. She pinched Yifeng's soft waist, you're the one who fell into the water pit. Yifeng winced, don't worry, in the dream, I also pulled you out. Gumushi widened her eyes, about to strangle him when the head teacher Zhao Shui strode into the classroom. Class, it's time for the lesson. Head teacher Zhao Shui was teaching math, a bit old-fashioned and strict, so the students feared him. Privately, they even gave him a nickname, Zhao Demon King. Students dared not gossip about Yifeng and Gumushi anymore. Gumushi glared at Yifeng and hurried back to her seat. Yifeng's seat was behind hers, and he also sat back down. Feng, that was really cool. You actually kissed the school flower, Gu. Wang Tai leaned his head over, grinning and whispering. Yifeng turned to see the simple face in front of him and smugly replied, don't you see Feng's courage? If only I had half the courage Feng possesses. Feng, you just kissed the school flower, this heroic act will surely be known throughout the school soon. Wang Tai exclaimed. It was at this moment Yifeng realized, oh no, wouldn't that make him public enemy number one among the male students in the school? Gumushi was the most beautiful school flower at Taoyuan 1 High School, with countless secret admirers, but due to her aloof and domineering nature, she never gave anyone a chance. However, those admirers were persistent. Her desk received love letters, roses, and chocolates frequently. The advantage of hanging out with her before was all the chocolate, candies, and cookies one could want. Thinking about possibly becoming a rival to Gumushi's admirers, Yifeng felt a headache coming on. But hey, he's already lived through worse, why worry? Having lived for several decades, he's capable of handling these youngsters with ease. Wang Tai, if someone challenges you with a book or something later, remember to throw it away, don't involve me. Yifeng instructed. Huh? What challenge book? Wang Tai's brain took a moment to catch up. Yifeng. Wang Tai may be nice, but a bit slow. Don't ask, just remember to do as I say when the time comes. Yifeng gestured. His gaze fell on the hint of pink under Gumushi's white school uniform in front of him. He couldn't help but recall his curiosity back in middle school about girls' bras, wondering how they supported the weight, sometimes couldn't help but tug at the strap behind Gumushi. Perhaps that specific bra wasn't of great quality, as it snapped under his pull. That led Gumushi to chase him for several days. Recalling those embarrassing past moments, Yifeng couldn't help but smile foolishly. Feng, what's so funny? Wang Tai, curious about his sudden laughter, inquired. Yifeng chuckled mischievously, whispering, Wang Tai, tell me, are Gumushi and I a good match? Definitely, you and Gu are a perfect match. Feng, you're handsome, charming, with a charismatic and attractive presence, fleetingly majestic, domineering, and overflowing with charisma. Stop, can't you use idioms correctly? Scratching his head, Wang Tai earnestly responded, honestly, I think you both really suit each other. Look, among the whole school, how many boys can have a conversation with Gu School Flower? Apart from you Feng, there's no one else. I think you both get along well on ordinary days, you seem like a perfect match. You're right, from now on, Gumushi is your sister-in-law. Hee, yes, Feng, go for it, and maybe teach me a few tricks to chase Su Shaoling. Wang Tai nodded. Su Shaoling was a flower in the class, also Wang Ling's crush. In this period of youthful ignorance, who didn't have a crush on someone? This was the throbbing of youth. No problem, you're my good buddy, I'll definitely help you. Yifeng patted his shoulder. Suddenly, chalk flew towards him, hitting Yifeng's forehead perfectly. Yifeng, I'm teaching, and you're chatting in the back? Stand up. Zhao Shui on the podium glared at him, sternly scolding him. Teacher, what's wrong? Yifeng wiped the chalk off his forehead. Pointing to the math problem on the blackboard, Zhao Shui said, come solve this question. If the complex number z sad face x plus 2x minus 3, plus x plus 3, I is an imaginary number, what is the real number value of x? Other students in the class turned to look at him, many of them stifling laughter. Everyone knew Yifeng was ranked in the top 10 in humanities and math, but on the contrary, at the bottom, so they were all waiting to see his blunder. As Yifeng was about to respond, he heard a noise coming from under the table, as Gumushi kicked it twice. Look here, Gumushi whispered. She was writing the process of solving problems on her notebook. Ifong could tell that she was trying to help him out. This little girl really cares about me. But these simple questions couldn't stump him. Ifong was indeed weak in math before the college entrance examination, but in order to get into the Guangzhou University of Science and Technology, he crammed for a month before the exam, scoring 503 points, surpassing the cutoff for first-tier universities. However, during the voluntary admission process, under the pressure from Gumushi, he changed it to Guangzhou University. He majored in computer science in university, which was highly related to mathematics. He was proficient in advanced mathematics, C++, and English level 6. Ifong didn't think of himself as a top student, but he was considered an outstanding graduate of a prestigious university. These simple questions couldn't stump him. Why are you silent? Has your tongue been cut off? Weren't you happy just now? Zhao Sun reprimanded. Ifong smiled slightly, walked to the podium, and picked up a chalk to write on the blackboard. Solution: because complex number z sad face x plus 2x minus 3 plus x plus 3 I is purely imaginary. Therefore x plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, x plus 3 is not equal to 0. Solve for x equals 1. Teacher, the answer is 1, Ifong smiled. The classroom fell into silence, all the students were astonished. Even Gumushi was almost shocked. How did Ifong improve his math skills? Zhao Sun was also a bit puzzled. He didn't expect Ifong to come up with the answer. Did he study in advance? Ahem, well, you answered correctly. Go back to your seat and listen carefully in class, Zhao Sun gestured for him to return to his seat. Ifong chuckled, yes, teacher. He returned to his seat, thinking to himself that the knowledge from his past life turned out to be useful. With his current knowledge, he could easily surpass a college student. If he took the college entrance examination again, he might even aim for the top spot. Thinking about the upcoming college entrance examination in 2 months, Ifong couldn't help but feel excited. Fengge is awesome. I thought you were going to embarrass yourself. Wang Tai raised his thumb in admiration. Hee, it's nothing, Ifong straightened his clothes. At that moment, a little note was thrown from the front. It was a note from Gumushi. He picked it up and read it. You owe me a favor. Asterisk, there was also a proud expression drawn on the note. This little girl thought it was her credit? That was because of my own ability, right? Ifong smirked, tore a piece of paper from his workbook, wrote something on it, and threw it back at her. Gumushi, upon seeing the note, looked puzzled, then blushed red, glaring back at him in embarrassment. Wang Tai, seeing this, curiously asked, Fengge, what did you write to Gu Campus Belle? Why did she blush? Hee, nothing, Ifong lounged in his chair leisurely. On the other side, Gumushi's deskmate, Jinjejia, also saw Gumushi blushing in embarrassment and asked curiously, Mushi, what did Ifong just say to you? And nothing, he's just a jerk, I'll deal with him after school, Gumushi disguised her face. She secretly opened the note under the table. Besides owing you a favor, I also owe you a kiss. You can come claim it any time. I'll be waiting for you, happy face asterisk, jerk, daring to take advantage of me, I'll deal with you later. Gumushi tore up the note, grinding her teeth. If I don't teach you a lesson, I'm not Gumushi. However, she felt a little awkward and sensed something strange about Ifong today. Time passed quickly, and it was soon time to go home. Gumushi packed up her bag and left the classroom early. Ifong thought she might be shy and not daring to face him. Did his flirting backfire? It seemed like he needed to be more restrained in the future. As the saying goes, haste makes waste. If he was too hasty, it might cause her trouble. Teasy, let's go home, Ifong called out. Okay, Fengge. Wang Tai quickly packed up his books. The two of them, along with Gumushi, lived in the same workers' community, the third rolling steel plant workers' community in Guangzhou. Ifeng's father was a welder at the steel plant, and his mother was a vegetable vendor. Gumushi's father was the deputy director of the steel plant, and her mother was a clerk in the factory. As for Wang Tai, he only had a mother who worked in logistics at the factory, while his father was a drunk who spent most of his time hanging out outside. His parents had long been divorced, but every time his father drank too much or ran out of money, he would go to his mother for money. Ifong remembered a few quarrels his parents had in the community because of this. After the college entrance examination, Wang Tai's mother moved out of the workers' community to avoid his father. Because of this, Ifong gradually lost contact with Wang Tai after starting university. It was a pity to break off such a good brotherhood because of family reasons. Since he was reborn, he couldn't let this regret happen again. The two of them left the classroom and arrived at the parking shed next to the school playground. The shed held Phoenix bikes, a perennial brand. Yifeng's bike was an old Phoenix brand he received for his 16th birthday, costing 180 yuan. He was about to unlock and take the bike when he noticed the tire was flat. Damn it. Who punctured my tire? Yifeng cursed. Did a rival show up so soon? Oh, Yifeng, is your bike flat? What a pity, looks like you'll have to walk home. Gumushi rode by on her bike, pretending to pass by. Upon hearing her tone, Yifeng was almost sure she was the one who punctured the tire. Hey, Feng Ge, how about you sit on the back, I'll give you a ride home. Wang Tai patted the back seat of his bike. Hee, no need, Yifeng chuckled, jumping onto the back seat of Gumushi's bike. Alright, let's go, Mushi, Gumushi scolded, why are you on my bike? Get off. I'm not getting off, are you going to bite me? Yifeng shamelessly replied. Gumushi grinned, showing her 2 front teeth, that's it. She then grabbed Yifeng's arm and pretended to bite him. Yifeng quickly raised his foot to avoid her bite, firmly holding her waist with the other hand. No matter how Gumushi tried to bite, she couldn't reach him. Are you really a dog? Want to bite me? Luckily, I was prepared. Yifeng chuckled. Let go. I'm going to bite you to death. Gumushi threatened, trying to bite again. The two of them started playfully wrestling near the bike shed, attracting the attention of the surrounding students. Hey, isn't that Gu Campus Bell? Oh my, why is she getting physical with a guy? Wow, it really is Gu Campus Bell. Are they flirting and bickering? Hearing the students' discussions around her, Gumushi felt embarrassed and whispered, let me go. Okay, promise not to bite me again, give me a ride home, and I'll let you go, Yifeng demanded. Who told you to puncture my tire? Yifeng smirked. Alright, hurry up and let me go. Gumushi reluctantly nodded. Only then did Yifeng release her. Gumushi then attempted to stomp on his foot, but Yifeng was prepared, lifting his foot to evade it. Trying to step on me too? Hee. Gumushi was about to get angry and start a real fight. Wait a minute, aren't you afraid of so many people watching? I'm fearless, I have a thick skin. Yifeng acted nonchalant. Glancing around, Gumushi felt uncomfortable being stared at, feeling cornered by Yifeng. She gritted her teeth and said, Humph, I'll deal with you when we get back. With that, she pedaled her bike, carrying Yifeng away. Hey, wait for me. Wang Tai rode his bike to catch up from behind.